Hang on to your dreams, Chip. The future is built on dreams.
Whoa, I never get tired of Prime's awe-inspiring words of wisdom. I'm sure you could agree that Optimus Prime is the best space dad. Am I right, homie?
Sure? I guess you could call him something like that.
Well, like a father figure, someone to look up to and want to be more like.
I've heard peeps say that he's something special, but I don't really get it.
But what about that clip that we just watched with Chip holding on to your dreams? Didn't that connect with you?
Could you run that by me one more time?
Oh, we'll do you one better, homie. Let's rewind, relive, and reflect on the best space dad of all time, Optimus Prime, right after this killer track.
Let's go back in time. We can just hit rewind. What a terrific notion. It's cartoon commotion.
There's a gnarly amount of reasons why we would consider Optimus Prime the most ultra-magnificent, all-time greatest space dad ever. But, let's break it down and zone in on just 3 major key points. For one thing, Prime took his role as the leader of the Autobots most heinously, with Mondo levels of heart and care. And not just emotionally either. In the first miniseries, Episode 3, Prime worked with his recon droid Roller to check in on a situation going on inside this mine shaft that was about to explode. In the process, it did indeed explode, and he was sent rolling down that hill in that massive explosion. The whole time, all he could think about was the safety of Roller.
Roller!
Well, Roller was just fine, but Prime was so dinged up that he was struggling just to transform back into his robot mode. That explosive crashing against the rocks took a lot out of him. You said it, Chiggy. The reforming of his robot mode looked incredibly painful. It was all shaky and jittery, and I was hurting for him. But even still, he managed to reform and get back to work, keeping his team on task and all right. Even though he went through all that, he'd be willing to risk his life all over again, always putting the well-being of others before himself. Like in the 3-part miniseries The Ultimate Doom. Oh, that was so Mondo radical that it could have been its own blockbuster movie. The Earth was in total cataclysmic torture, because Megatron and his vile crew of Decepticons created a space bridge teleportation device that pulled their home planet of Cybertron right next to the Earth. Kinda like a second moon.
That's no moon.
Only a lot bigger. You don't need to be a rocket surgeon to realize that this would create some Mondo major problemos for the Earth and all life on it. The situation was dire. Megatron seemed to be winning the fight and escaping to Cybertron unscathed. Prime's first priority, you would think, would be the preservation of all Autobots, but his priority in this situation was how the global tidal wave approaching could destroy almost all human life. Zone in for a sec on that line. Here it is.
That tidal wave will destroy human life across the face of the globe.
And then Ironhide chimed back that it wouldn't be very good for them either. In the end, it was Spike the Human who came up with the way to save the Earth. Pause for a sec, homie. Just so you know, we did an episode on Transformers and humanity. That came out before this one, and highlights the value of humanity in the series. Okie doke, now resume.
Alright, so he puts others before himself and humanity before his own team. But, I'm still not sure I can really see him as my space dad.
Hang on a second there, homie. There's more to cover. You just brought us into our second point. Smack talk. Correctamundo, Jiggy. This is the ultimate form of my dad could totally beat up your dad. Prime calls Megatron out at nearly every encounter they have. Optimus in the first miniseries tells Megatron that he's old and heading for the scrap heap.
You're old, Megatron. Yesterday's model, ready for the scrap heap.
Prime is a great fighter, but he's even better, a smack talker. The power of Prime's voice is really the heart of his character, and this smack talk only makes us want to root for his character even more. Not to mention that he turns out to be quite the basketball player. Not only can he throw out the smack talk, he can dish it out on the court too. Prime's words would always cut through the noise of hopelessness with loads of encouragement and guidance, telling his fellow Autobots, we must not ignore the danger, we must conquer it. On a less serious note, but nowhere less impactful, let's return to where this journey all started. Through many trying times, Prime was found consoling children that would come alongside the Autobots who believed in Prime's unifying mission of peace almost as much as he did. Now, in the climax of episode 24, there lies an unforgettable exchange that simply can't be ignored. Chip, our wheelchair-bound friend, tight with Spike and the Autobots, was wishing for the mighty Devastator to flip sides, ditch the Decepticons, and join the Autobots permanently. But Devastator, no. He was steadfast as a brick wall and had zero plans for a change of heart. Chip told Prime that it was probably just a dumb old dream anyhow, and Prime replied,
Hang on to your dreams, Chip. The future is built on dreams.
It's ultra clear that Optimus Prime personally felt what Chip was feeling in that moment. You see, he wished for a day where all innocent life, all sentient beings, could live together in peace. Sadly, his efforts were constantly thwarted by minds that were so tainted by evil they would choose not to change. Optimus truly comprehended the major struggle that Chip was dealing with in that scene. He wouldn't see Chip ditching his dreams that Optimus personally identified with. He too held on to his own dream. His righteous pep talk was like a mirror image of his own tireless determination to see his mission through to the end.
Your case has been made very clear. I've seen the evidence, and okay, he's my space pops.
Excellent! I probably shouldn't mention this now, but all that bond building was only leading up to his tragic death in the Transformers movie. The movie hit theaters with a Mondo Ultra devastating kick to the face of our fandom. A ton of Autobots we bonded with over time were killed off due to the greedy corporate move by Hasbro to refresh the brand. But what Hasbro could never see coming was the crushing backlash of loyal fans who were absolutely devastated by the death of their space dad, Optimus Prime.
Dude, and I felt like I was just starting to really get to know Prime.
Oh, but Prime never really died.
Say what?
Homie, if you're new here, thanks for hanging with us. If you want more of this sort of content, click subscribe and like this episode. I'm Cade, your favorite cartoon weirdo, with my pig, Jiggy, the pig that digs the jig. This is Cartoon Commotion, where we flip the script on nostalgic 80s, 90s cartoons. Oh, and there will be a follow-up to that shocking statement in the very near future, so if you're interested, stay tuned and keep it unreal.